Wait a minute. You're not allowed to get a Roomba.
Right, she thinks it's junk.
No,
that's the Asian wife, of course.
The Asian wife.
You can get a Roomba. She's just not going to use the Roomba. You could keep the Roomba in your room and have it only vacuum that room.
Have you seen my floor? Where would it go?
Well, yeah. Well, so we're...
Oh, no, there's all these rugs.
It'll bump in all that stuff and vacuum
garbage.
around it.
Yeah, right. It's
You
not
know
even
what
worth
I
it.
have for a floor?
There's nothing good for, 8 square feet if you have that.
I mean, just think, you sit down to dinner. Brian, why do I always hear all this bumping around in your room even when you're not in it? Did you bring home a pet?
I could get one in fact, I suggested getting for the beach house, but she said we have somebody hired to clean the place.
You know what I have for a floor in my bedroom? I have concrete. I have concrete and rugs.
Do you have rugs now?
Yes, I do have a rug. But it is concrete.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
A concrete
floors
rug.
are in.
Yes, a concrete rug.
Yes.
Now,
you can put anything on a concrete rug, right?
Yes. I haven't vacuumed the rug for a while, so I gotta empty my vacuum and vacuum it. But it's so much easier. It's like I just run it over the fucking concrete and like everything gets picked up. I'm like, yes!
But on that note, it's time again.
I'll be right back. I'm skedaddling for a second.
Lulu is going to skedaddle.
Just in time.
But the rest of us are here because it is time again for...
Insert title here.
The show that changes names so frequently. We put a placeholder in. And this week, my keyboard that is in front of me looks a little different. Doesn't that look a little different?
What is it, Commodore PET?
64.
Dang it.
You went back further.
No, that's actually attached to the monitor, so I
yes, the Commodore PET came with the monitor attached to it, and then there was the VIC-20, and I got the Commodore 64, the one that everyone and their mother had, and
I never had one.
Well, I didn't say everyone and their brother.
My brother had the
mother.
Coleco Atom.
Uh huh.
My brother had the Coleco Atom.
Yeah. And what did you program on? What was your first programming computer?
I had a TRS-8. Well, I had some prior computers, but my first real computer that had lots of stuff for it was the TRS-80, Model 1.
Okay. TRS, that was... What was that?
Tandy Radio Shack.
Oh, you had a Tandy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the first computer I laid hands on was the Compact Portable, which, I still got that one in the basement that I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the power supply. Had a very interesting conversation.
Oh.
I called up a computer repair shop, and I'm like, hey, you fix computers, right? And he said, yeah. I'm like, if I brought in a Compact Portable, it's got a power supply problem. And he's like, well, what year was that made? 1983. What's wrong with it? Well, it's just not getting enough power from the power supply, and you can't really just buy another power supply off the shelf. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what I can do for that, though. I'd love to work on it, but...
How big is the space for the power supply?
Well, you know how the Compact Portable has that screen built in on the left-hand side of the... Yeah. It's to the left of the monitor. So that space between
what
monitor...
are the rough dimensions?
A circuit board with a bunch of capacitors on it that's squeezed into that little wedge of space between the case and the
so it's not even a power supply box.
No, it's a power supply board.
So take a current power supply, or even an older one, cut the case off of it, and stick it in there.
I don't...
Does it use the standard connectors? for
No,
the motherboard.
no, it's only one row of pins. It's not 2 rows of pins, and I don't know if it
Oh shoot,
corresponds.
that's even before ATX standard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how big is the motherboard?
It's a decent size. Now here's the thing.
Well, no. Decent. I mean, how big? Literally, how big is it?
I have it.
Can you get a
Mhm.
modern motherboard and replace it?
Well, at that point, I don't have a compact portable anymore. I have a newer computer inside of a compact portable case. I wanted to.
Hey, you have a sewing machine that doesn't work. That's what you have.
A sewing machine that doesn't work. No, here's the thing. I've been conversing with people online, and this guy on Reddit sent me a picture of where the burst capacitors were on his, and apparently there are capacitors on the motherboard near the power supply pins that I guess bring in the power, and those are the weak point, and those are what usually go. So I need to get the motherboard out of the case and check those capacitors. And those capacitors look like I could handle changing those. He said those.
Are they just regular electrolytic?
Well, they're of the tiny variety. I still haven't figured out how to get the motherboard out of the case, but I've been busy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta do some more. I gotta take some more screws out. But the Compact Portable 3 has got Windows on it now.
Woohoo!
Yeah. What version of Windows?
95?
3.0.
3.0.
3.0. It's
not even 3.1.
Well, it's a 286 processor with 640K of RAM. So I don't have enough RAM to put 3.1 in there. So 3.0 is as far as I can push that one. Now, if I upgrade the RAM, I think you can get 3.1 to work on a 286, but why would you? And that's why I bought a 486 laptop, because I want to have a solid 3.1 machine.
Yes, 486 would be good. But what now? Okay, so I asked you on Twitter, why do you want a Windows 3.1?
Windows 3.1, DOS. Well, nowadays, if you play DOS games, you have to run a DOS emulator. I mean, you can bring up a DOS prompt in Windows, but it's so far along that if you want to play Leisure Suit Larry, it runs better in DOSBox, which is a DOS emulator. And you know me, I'd prefer to run on original equipment to running on an emulator. So I want, a good solid DOS machine. And 486 with DOS 6.22 and Windows 3.1 is a pretty good option for a solid DOS machine. The only downside to getting a 486 laptop up and running is that it doesn't have a sound card. But it does have a parallel port, and the 8-bit guy sells things that attach to parallel ports for sound. So, yeah. Problem is I bought a 486 laptop off of eBay as a parts machine that, basically meant we didn't try turning it on. You go ahead and try turning it on if you can find a power cord for it. And I thought it was going to be a fixer-upper, and instead what I got was a busted case because the dumbass...
Because the guy shipped it improperly.
Yeah. This dumbass basically said...
At least you got half your money back, although $25 for a non-working laptop, I don't care what it is worth nothing.
Well, it's not non-working, it's a parts machine. And that's how it was sold as, was a parts machine. It's just now a parts machine that is also not cosmetically appealing. Like I said, this was being sold as is, and as far as I knew, it was...
Now you got all the parts for that broken corner, right? Because...
Well, I did better than that.
By the packaging, right?
I did better than that, Brian. I went on eBay, and I found another one of the same model that had a busted screen, that had a $30 buy it now.
Oh, so you can swap parts then.
Right, and I already found the documentation, and I've completely disassembled this laptop. I've got a box of parts and a tiny box of screws now, and so
what you have now is a bigger box of parts than you had before.
Yes. So now I'm gonna get second one. I'm gonna completely disassemble that, and I'm gonna put together the best parts from each, and then hopefully I have something that turns on.
So why don't you record these episodes of what you're building, taking apart, throwing in boxes, pulling out of the box, and slap up some YouTube videos showing your progress?
I'll have to do that. Maybe we'll do a live stream when I get everything taken apart, and then we'll do a live build. It's just that a lot of times, the reason I haven't done that is because I do a lot of things in stages and here and there. I'm very scatterbrained sometimes when it comes to my hobbies.
So just get a cheap camera, record the different segments, and then edit them together. You can do that.
We could do that.
I mean, Windows Movie Maker, which is, kind of crappy, it can do that.
So, Brian.
And you can post that on eBay, on YouTube.
I got a cassette tape here.
Oops. You need to zoom in a little bit.
I got a cassette tape here. And just as I said that,
it could look like anything at that distance.
Just as I said that, Venison entered the room. Because Venison
Hello,
knew...
Venison.
Venison, you know what you could do with cassette tapes, Venison?
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, I do have a cassette player here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that up so you could hear the quality musicianship on this tape.
You can burn them.
This is quite high-pitched.
I can hear that.
I think all the dogs in the neighborhood are...
What the hell?
It's...
Is that a data tape?
Yeah, someone put a data tape in the tape player again. How about that?
For what machine?
Well, for the Commodore, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing a little...
And
I've been
what's on that? What data is on that?
Oh, I'm
secret files for the government?
I'm glad you asked that, Brian, because I am now going to bring up a screen capture of my Commodore, which you could see in the bottom right hand corner. We do have chat up, though, so I should check out my Commodore. What's going on in the chat? So let's go ahead and see. Oh, 5-Hit and Warhawk are hanging out. Now, Warhawk had a TRS 80 color computer.
Wait, your Twitch is working?
Twitch is working.
Motorola 6809, right?
What the
Warhawk?
Anyways.
The computer, color computer.
Yeah. TRS 80 color computer. And Warhawk rates and counter.
And the processor is
Go ahead.
The processor was Motorola 6809.
I don't know. Warhawk says data in quad. Well, actually, I think it's in mono, but it uses 2 tracks, so that would make it technically stereo. But anyways, I've been doing a little bit of typing in programs because, you could buy, computer programs as books instead of discs back in the day. And so I did a little typing earlier today. And now the contrast on my S video capture on this is awful.
Yes, Warhawk, this is booze.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to type in the word load and press enter. And now it's going to...
Are you going to dump a load?
Yeah, I'm going to hit press play on tape. And now the screen turns blue while it looks for a program on this tape.
Send me some, please.
It helps. It helps watch this show. Booze does help this show. Oh, found groan. So now we're going to hit the Commodore key, which tells it to go ahead and load the program it found. And we'll
what the flying fuck?
Well, Venison, I thought you knew all about the things that cassettes could do.
Oh no, not that. Mr. System Administrator.
Just so you know,
What
I'm
is
drinking.
wrong with your page?
I'm drinking Hellcat Maggie
Where's
Irish
that
whiskey.
from?
Hellcat Maggie, that looks good. Send me some.
This is from Princeton, Michigan.
So, I was chatting in this game group,
And I
and
drink it
we
dirty
were
on the
talking
rocks.
about different alcohols and stuff like this. And this one guy from Kentucky said, "You guys know nothing." Well, we were talking about moonshine. He goes, you Yankees know nothing about moonshine."
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
And see Lulu's face; she knows nothing about moonshine too.
No, actually, my my great uncles and my great grandfather used to run moonshine.
Oh, you do
back in Tennessee.
She knows something about it. Oh, our program finished loading. That was really quick, wasn't it? That was, And speaking of programs loading, we got a Skype call loading on the desktop here. Hello, Warhawk.
Hello. With all this shit that's going on around today, I need a tanker load of whiskey.
A tanker load. Yeah.
Or yeah, tanker load.
That'd be great if like a tanker truck that has a, gas nozzle right on the side filled with whiskey just pulled up and you could just take the gas pump, top off your glass.
No, I'll just drink it straight from the tap. What the hell?
There you go. Why not?
Hey, John.
Okay.
And
Action Gators, first off, your Commodore 64, is it easy like a Sunday morning?
What was that? Their advertising? I'm not familiar with that.
Obviously, you didn't get the joke. The Commodores, like Lionel Richie.
Oh, that Commodores. Yeah. Well, I was thinking, once, twice, 3 times the coding. No, that didn't work either.
Hey, say, Johnny, can Team Talk share your screen? I don't see the button for that.
I sent my camera to Team Talk, but the screen share is on Twitch or YouTube.
Oh, I'm talking about, can I do it?
Oh, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd have to figure out if there's a way to do that, and I'm a little occupied right now.
Yeah, no, I'm still looking for it.
I forget if there's a way to do that in Team Talk. I know there's ways to do different things. I think if you used a screen sharing program that was sharing as a display device and you set that to be like your webcam. Anyways, so yeah, what else is going on, Warhawk?
With this stuff going around these days, I am tempted to
No.
But I'm not.
No telethons.
I did make this though.
No! Pretzels. This is
You're
music
listening
for
to the
pretzels.
first annual No Holds Barred Radio Coronathon. Donate so I can get some toilet paper.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Right on.
I know. Here this one's for me.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Buy a man a roll of toilet paper, wipe his ass for a week. Buy a man a bidet, clean his ass for a lifetime.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right, thank you for calling.
Now, Gators, I still got a question to ask you.
Okay.
Why is it when I try to get to your Twitch account, a Pac-Man ghost appears and says, "Sorry, unless you got a time machine, that content is unavailable."
You remember how Twitch had blocked me from using Johnny Gators as my username because that was my username on Justin TV, and they absorbed that and then locked it. Well, it turns out the statute of limitations is up on that, and I was able to change my Twitch account name to Johnny Gators. So you now need to put an Ani in after the J. So thank you. Thank you, Twitch, for finally letting me use my name. Thank you. Thank you, Twitch. I can finally be Johnny again instead of Jay.
Hey, Venison, if you have a Twitch account, why don't you just follow Johnny Gators?
Those of you that were following Jay Gators, your follows have automatically been updated to Johnny Gators. Those of you that were just typing in a link by memory, you're going to need to add an Ani in there.
And I am following him.
So what's the difference,
So
Venison?
It's not loading.
So anyways, we're going to run this program I load off the tape and see what it does. And we are going to play a game called Groan.
Groan?
Groan. It's a dice game that makes you groan, hence the name Groan. I don't know if we're going to play a whole game, but I'm just going to show you what I was able to make this Commodore 64 do today by typing in, a bunch of lines of code. So now it's going to do a virtual coin toss. The coin is in the air, and I get first roll. Okay, computer gets first roll. So now, screen turned green. And we got a animation of dice rolling, and rolled a 9. And the way this game works is you roll the dice, and you get the points that come up on the dice, and you have the option to roll again or pass, and you can roll as many times as you want to until these dice, instead of having a 1, have a frowny face. And if you hit the frowny face, you lose all the points for that roll. So now it's my roll.
Can I play blackjack?
If you know how to code
That's
it.
more fun.
Oh, Groan. I got a frowny face on my dice. I lose this round, and I have to pass the dice on to the computer. Yeah, you can play blackjack if you know how to code the Commodore 64 to play blackjack. So, Brian, what do you think of my little program I coded in here today?
No.
No? No?
Let me pull. That's on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Or YouTube either.
Twitch or YouTube. Either way.
I'm not watching it because your screen
is just my camera.
Just has your face.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna roll again. So
Guys,
I'm gonna
let's
press R.
get on top of this. Let's get on top of this.
Yeah, my setup. The one downside of my setup is that I share the camera only with the co-hosts, but everything else works good. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pass the dice and take my points. So now it's me 14, computer 25, and it's computer's turn again. This is what you could do with a Commodore 64. Now Warhawk says BASIC sucks. BASIC is good for one thing and one thing only: learning how to code. And yeah, but
failure. Failure.
Well, you know what, Brian? You're a guy that likes to go to the beach, right?
Sure.
Don't sound too convincing about that.
Sure.
I'm sorry, do you not like going to the beach?
Where are we going with this?
Well, where we're going with this is, well, now that we're quarantined, you can't go to the beach, can you?
Why not?
Well, because
God, what
you gotta,
the hell did he?
You gotta,
did he code?
You got to stay indoors. We're being quarantined. You can't go to the beach now. You're not allowed.
What did he code?
You got to stay in. So,
well, I'm in the main house, and there's no beach right here, so
right, can't go to the beach.
That'd be fine.
You got to stay indoors. You got to, stay home.
You're close to the beach, right, Lulu?
I'm close to the beach, and we got people visiting the fucking county, and they're trying to play spring break. We're telling them, no, get away.
But it's okay. You don't have to go to
Use
the
your
beach.
go to the beach with pepper spray.
You don't have to go to the beach.
Oh, dude.
You could bring the beach to you because I programmed a virtual beach right here on the Commodore. And this is
Let's see.
This is just like going to the beach. It's just like going to the beach. I have to say the inspiration for the way I'm playing this bit goes out to Jay Squared with his virtual beer pong
what
promo.
fantasy?
All right. Anyways, we click run, and we are now at the beach. We got a beach status report. We've been at the beach for 15 minutes now. You are at your beach blanket. The temperature is fine. Your beach fun index is 98. Where would you like to go?
Do you get eaten by a shark?
Um,
Please tell me you get eaten by a shark.
I don't know if that's an option. You could be kept from going in the water because of sharks, but I don't think you can get eaten by a shark.
Well, that fucking sucks.
So, where would you like to go? Choose by number. 1, the water. 2, stay where you are. 3, the hot dog stand. Or 4, home. What do you think, Brian? Where do you want to go?
Hot dog stand.
You want to go to the hot dog stand. Okay. We're going to put
And bring your pepper spray, because if anybody's near there, you just spray them off.
All right. So the beach status report. We've been at the beach for 30 minutes. You are on the way to the hot dog stand. Your temperature is warm. Your beach fun index is 92. Where would you like to go? 1, the water. 2, your beach blanket. 3, continue going to the hot dog stand. Or 4, home. What do you think? Should we finish the trip?
Hot dog stand.
All right.
Hot
Number
dog
3.
stand.
Beach status report. Time at beach,
Boy,
45
this is a boring
minutes.
game.
You are at the hot dog stand. Your temperature is hot. You just ate a hot dog. Your beach fun index is 94. This is just like eating a hot dog at the beach. Where would you like to go? 1, the water. 2, your beach blanket. 3, stay where you are. Or 4, home.
Home.
Beach blanket.
Beach blanket. All right, let's go to the beach blanket. We're going to throw in a 2.
With your pepper spray, in case anybody's in the area, you spray them off.
You got to add some more code for that. Beach status report.
Besides, you got to stay out of the water for half an hour.
Beach status report. Time
Is this
at beach.
a basic program that you can modify?
Well, it is a basic program. And so, yeah, we theoretically could modify this. Time at beach, 60 minutes. You are on the way back from the hot dog stand. Your temperature is hotter. Your beach fun index is 82. Where would you like to go? 1, the water. 2, your beach blanket. 3, the hot dog stand. Or 4, home.
How about
continue
up your
for the
mom's
blanket?
ass?
What's that, Lulu?
How about up your mom's ass?
We'd have to program that in. All right, back to the blanket.
Let's go to the blanket.
Beach status report. Time at beach, 75 minutes. You are at your beach blanket. Your temperature is boiling. Your beach fun index is 66. Where would you like to go? Choose by number. 1, the water. 2, stay where you are. 3, the hot dog stand. 4, home.
Use that pepper spray on yourself.
Use that pepper spray on yourself. 1, the water. 2, stay where you are. 3, the hot dog stand. 4, home. Let's go in the water. We'll go in the water. Let's see.
Yeah, but you just had a hot dog. You know, you're not supposed to swim when you've just eaten.
Brian, we took
die.
We took 2 turns to walk from the hot dog stand to the blanket. That was a half hour of walking. We've had enough time.
Good, we can go in the water.
Yeah. Beach status report. Time at beach, 90 minutes. You are in the water. Your temperature is fine. Your beach fun index is 81. So do we want to stay in the water where we are, head back to our blanket, or go to the hot dog stand, or go home?
Look out for sharks.
Water.
Well, yeah, we'll stay in the water. Look out for sharks. 1. Beach status report. Time at beach, 105 minutes. You are in the water. Your temperature is cool. You are hungry. Your beach fun index is 77. So it sounds like we're getting hungry. So we want to stay in the water hungry.
How could How could you be hungry? You just had a hot dog.
Hey, we had a hot dog like an hour ago.
And anyway, we're watching the beach blanket because we left our pepper spray back at the blanket.
So do we need to go back to the blanket before we go to the hot dog stand?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go back to our beach blanket then. Beach status report, time at beach, 120 minutes. You are at your beach blanket. Your temperature is fine. You are very hungry. Your beach fun index is 89. Where do you want to go? The water, stay where you are, hot dog stand, or home? Well, we're very hungry, so I think we want to head on over to the hot dog stand. We're on our way to the hot dog stand. We're warm. We're starving. We're at a fun index of 77. We're going to keep on going to the hot dog stand. And we are at the hot dog stand. The temperature is hot. You just ate a hot dog. Your beach fun index is 78. If we try to go in the water now,
how about we get the beach fun index down to 0?
well, that's when you get a game over.
Yeah. That's right.
The idea
Use the pepper spray on yourself.
we still don't have that option. We're going to have to go back to the beach blanket.
Use the pepper spray on somebody so you can get money to get a Coke.
Kill
Brian,
someone with a beach blanket.
Brian, I'm going to need to send you this code so you can start writing all this in.
Yeah.
Beach status report, time at beach, 165 minutes. You are on the way back from the hot dog stand. Your temperature is hotter. Your beach fun index is 65. Now, do we want to go?
Going back to where?
We're going back to the blanket from the hot dog stand because we just ate a hot dog.
Oh, okay.
So we can continue back to the blanket. We can go to the water. We can
That's
go
what
back
they
to the
call
hot dog
it.
stand. We can go home.
Just go to the blanket.
All right, let's go to the blanket.
They call it eating a hot dog.
Beach status report, time at beach, 180 minutes. You are at your beach blanket. Your temperature is boiling. Your beach fun index is 48. Where would you like to go? The water, where you are, hot dog stand, or home?
Let's go to the volleyball court
That hasn't been programmed
with the pepper
in yet.
spray.
You know what? I'm sure we could pass by that on our way to the water. You are in the water. This is 195 minutes at the beach. Your temperature is fine. Your beach fun index is 63. Now, do we want to stay?
Jellyfish.
Oh, let's stay in the water and play with the jellyfish then.
This game doesn't have that many levels to it.
Levels? What are levels? We have one level.
Different places. I mean,
A jellyfish.
there's no
a
volleyball
jellyfish.
court?
A jellyfish. Fish.
I found this in
There's no jellyfish.
I
There's
found
no
this in an
sharks?
issue of 321 Contact
A
magazine.
jellyfish. A jellyfish.
Oh, did you hack this in?
Yeah, I typed this in off of magazine.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so no volleyball
Get some
court.
peanut
How
butter,
about,
eat a jellyfish.
fishing? Do you have a fishing pole?
No, we don't have a fishing pole.
Dang.
Get some peanut butter, eat a jellyfish.
So your chances are either get in the water or stare at the water.
Yeah.
Or run off to get a hot dog.
Yeah. Oh, you went home after
You're not
300
eating a hot dog.
You went home after 330 minutes. Your beach fun index is -1. Or
Whoa.
negative 17. Well, I couldn't get
Yeah, but you're not even sunburned yet.
Well, I was actually by the time I was I was skipping through a few turns there. Basically, I got stuck at the beach blanket because the sharks were in the water and it wouldn't let me get in the water, and I kept getting hotter and my fun index kept going down. And so we made it 330 minutes. And that is just like going to the beach.
A new world's record.
So there you go. See, you don't have to go to the beach to have the beach experience.
Right.
Just like going to the beach.
Right.
So people in the East Coast think that going to the beach means you're going into the water.
Well, yeah.
People on the West Coast say, I'm not going in that freaking cold water.
Well, that's because you don't know what the beach is all about. You need to come over here and check out a real beach.
No, the beach is for just
Dude.
enjoying the sand. or
The East Coast
fishing.
beaches are nasty.
No, you go swimming. You go in the ocean. You go swimming.
That's right.
No.
That's where I were introduced to Portuguese man of war on the East Coast.
I've never seen one.
Your water is
Neither did
nasty.
I.
It's too warm.
I
It's
s-
lukewarm and it's nasty.
Hey,
It's like swimming in bathwater.
no.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
fucking
not.
nasty.
Swimming pool water is much warmer than ocean water. Ocean water is nice and refreshing.
Our ocean water is not that warm.
No, it's not.
You don't have any ocean in Ohio.
We got a Great Lake.
Thank
Lake
you.
Erie?
Thank you, Brian.
Lake Erie?
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That lake was
Forgot
on
about that.
freaking
Bam!
fire.
Right. Let him have it.
You don't have an ocean.
You don't have one. You don't have that.
I swam in your fucking Atlantic Ocean.
Anyways.
It's fucking disgusting.
For those people that want to see what's going on behind the scenes at the beach, that's what a beach simulation program looks like right there. So there you go. That's all.
There are so many more levels that we could add to it.
Yeah, and you see how much code it took just to get that, and that wasn't that much, was it? So yeah.
How many lines?
Well, it's about
138 lines.
138 lines.
That's nothing.
Exactly. That's nothing. But it took me at least an hour to type that all in.
Well, it would be easy to add additional lines in there and more choice.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing about programming. You can start by typing in a program that someone else wrote, and then you could make your own changes and additions to it. That's the
And
beauty
here's why,
of the Commodore.
And here's why our friend says BASIC sucks. Because there's
God
no
damn it.
subroutines to it. It's all a run-on, one big run-on loop.
No, you could do subroutines in BASIC.
They didn't deploy them here, did they? Do they have any Go subs?
I don't know if this program has them or not. I forget, but I have been typing.
Well, you typed it in, so you would have remembered.
Yeah, I typed it
Go
in
sub.
at like 2:30 to 3:30 in the morning.
I see. So you were kind of zombie typing.
Yeah, and drinking, but it's amazing this works.
Double zombie.
I've typed in a bunch of programs, and I know a lot of them use subroutines. I don't know if this particular one uses subroutine. This one uses data lines to pull in data using for loops into arrays. That's a nice little trick.
Lionel? Did you really name your Commodore Lionel?
No, I didn't. Why? What makes me... Where does it say that?
Warhawk said Gators named his Commodore 64 Lionel, as in Lionel Richie.
It's cute. I kind of like it.
I like it, but that's not what I did. Warhawk wants to know if there's a nude beach version of the program.
We could add that.
We could add that. We could add that. We could totally add that. Now, you know what I did do though? I did make a
And then we could figure out which guy is Ronald McDonald.
Warhawk, why would you
Because he'll
want
have the
that?
sesame seed buns.
No! Bad Brian. Don't
Pimply butt.
don't
Pimply
sit
butt.
in the sesame seeds on the nude beach.
Who has the pimply butt?
Anyways, we could also make a piano.
Why? No.
Piano while you're at the beach?
Yeah. No, this is a different program.
So you loaded this from a tape.
No, these I loaded from discs. I have disc and tape. I bought the tape for shits and giggles.
okay.
I got a disc drive for, real stuff. And I have a SD reader on order that should be showing up some point in April, unless it gets quarantined. But
the thing that I liked about my TRS-80 when I first got it, I only had tapes and a cassette recorder. And then, eventually then, I can get an expansion module and then add disk drives. And then later, the third party came up with a hard disk for it.
Cool.
So, the thing could grow as I got more into it.
I could also, I found this program also in an issue of 3-to-1 Contact Magazine that draws an American flag. Very patriotic. There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it amazing what you could do with a computer?
Yes.
You have to hold my seat.
I cleared it.
I salute until the flag is done.
I took the flag down.
Brian, are you a veteran?
Technically, no.
Oh, really?
I wasn't in long enough.
No, but
I was on active duty for
but you did get
90 days. You have to be 180 days.
But didn't you get some kind of honor code and not smoke pot and something like that?
Well, that was ROTC.
That's practically the
that
same
was
thing.
ROTC.
Wait a minute, 90 days. You didn't even make it out of boot camp.
Didn't go to boot camp.
What the hell did you do?
So after ROTC, they were just throwing people out because Vietnam War was over. So they traded my 4-year commitment to a 90-day, just show up and do whatever they want you to do as an officer. I didn't lead anybody. And then and then I had an 8-year commitment for reserve duty. I did about 11 years.
Okay.
I was actually I had left my assignment, and then I was promoted to captain. I never owned a set of captain bars.
Really?
You didn't get your bars?
They don't just give it to you; you have to buy them.
Oh. The joystick port is funky on this. But look at.
Yeah, but if you
Donkey
don't
Kong.
wear them, you're out of uniform.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, I didn't wear a uniform.
I can't get my joystick to work.
In fact, I think by that
That's
time
what
I'm
she
not
said.
sure I could fit in my uniform.
Okay.
No, wait, you had to buy your bars. You earned your bars, but you would had to have bought them, and you decided, fuck that shit.
Well, I was not part of a unit anymore, so I didn't have a need to wear the uniform or get bars.
Well, what about to pick up chicks? You gotta wear the bars.
You didn't pick up chicks at that point.
You gotta wear the bars to go to the bars.
Post-Vietnam, the war was blamed on the veterans.
Oh.
Right, Fennison? After you got home, you ditched that uniform in the closet, not to be seen again.
Bummer. Yeah, that was shit. That was some bullshit there.
It was shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, does any politician get the blame for it? Hell no. They're the guys that did it all up.
They should. Well, at least now we're smart enough to blame the politicians for the bullshit. You know?
But we really don't. Right? I mean, a few people do, but in general,
no one's.
We still keep electing them.
No one's making anyone ashamed to wear the uniform. Is what I'm getting at now.
Oh, true. Okay.
At least we fixed that part. But I could tell you. I mean, I will. As far as I'm concerned, George W. Bush should rot in prison for murder. As far as I'm concerned, but. Yeah, we really need to do a better job of holding our politicians responsible for, the bullshit they pull us into. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Right. Well, you
What
see,
are we
if
here
you've
to
got
talk
a war
about?
going on, then you don't care about the deficit, which is just humongous.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, going to other countries to kill people is expensive.
And you use the excuse
apparently
that we're
that's
defending
what-
our freedom
that's what-
that we take away as we go along.
That's what brings the economy up.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyways, no, we were here to talk about Commodore 64 stuff, but I guess that, as usual, within the half hour, I'm out of material. And you're all just...
Dude,
go.
that just
So you-
that just took up like an hour. That just
So
took up
you
an hour.
you only have 2 programs for it?
Well, I got more programs, but let's see. What else did I do? Well, we could bring it back up here.
Well, what you did was you made Dune mad again.
Oh, well.
Oh,
boo-hoo.
sorry, Dune. Oh, he's already off the air, off listening anyway. And if he was half smart, he would be agreeing with us.
Oh, boo-hoo. Come back soon. Anyways, let's take a look here. Let's see. Well, I got, arcade games I loaded on here. And that beach piano. Oh, you know what? You know what else you can do?
Beach piano.
Well, beach and piano. Those are 2 separate programs. We already played those. You know what we didn't do, though?
Right. Trump Tower?
Trump Tower. No. Another thing that you can't do while you're quarantined in your house, but you can do virtually from the comfort of your own home? Have you ever wanted to work as a monkey feeder at the zoo?
No.
No.
No? Well, now you can. And it's just this simple.
Actually, I knew a woman that had a master's degree in zoology,
Uh-huh.
and she got an offer getting paid minimum wage at a zoo to do primate research. So, yeah, I think she was just feeding monkeys
Yeah.
with a master's degree.
So here's
Yeah, feeding monkeys and cleaning up their shit.
so
Exactly.
we don't even have to
or
clean
have
up.
them throw shit at you.
We don't even have to clean up the shit. We just got to give them the food. Basically, the premise of this
At
program
minimum
is
wage.
the premise of this
Wow.
program is that you've been hired as a monkey keeper, a monkey feeder's assistant, and on day 1 of the job, you found out that he went on vacation for 2 weeks, and so now you got to figure out how to do it by yourself. So here we are on day 1. Here's your inventory. We have 20 spider monkeys. 6 rhesus monkeys, 8 marmosets.
Reese's monkeys.
Reese's monkey. Well, that's like the peanut butter
Yes.
cups. They made with
That's
peanut
correct.
butter. Okay. 8
No,
marmosets.
they made the peanut butter cups out of the monkeys.
Oh. But I like the. Oh man, I've been eating monkey. I've been eating
Yes.
creamy monkey goo all these years.
You've been eating monkey shit.
Look at what Dune is missing right now. You see this?
Actually, Reese's monkeys were used in lots of lab experiments,
Uh-huh.
including product validation.
Well, we're just gonna feed these. So we got 8 marmosets. We got 12 bamboos, 4 chimpanzees, and a gorilla. We have on hand 3 bags of monkey food, 2 bags of ape food, and a pallet of fresh fruit. We have $2,300 in the budget. So what do we want to do? Do we want to feed the monkeys, or go to the monkey food store, or quit? Now our inventory is a little low, so I think we need to go to the monkey food store.
Take the money and run.
Yeah. We can program that in, and I'll make it say you win when you select that option. We can do that. We can totally do that. That would be an easy
Well,
upgrade.
put an option so you say go home. You say take the money with you? Question mark. So if you don't take the money, you go what? Loser.
You loser. There you go. Game over.
And then
you
winner
lose.
if you do take the money.
All right. So we got $2,300. Monkey food.
Or take the monkey food with you.
Monkey food is $5 a bag. All right, let's buy 20 bags of monkey food. Okay. Ape food is $15 a bag. Let's buy 20 bags of that too. And fruit is $20 a crate. I think the fruit is good to keep them from being sick. So let's go ahead and buy 10 crates of fruit. Your purchases are complete. And now we're still at day 1. We're back at the zoo. And so we're going to go ahead and feed the monkeys. It's feeding time.
Yay.
The spider monkeys are sick. What will you feed them? Monkey food?
Fruit.
Input numbers of bag. Well, let's give them, we got what, 20 spider monkeys? What do you think? About 3 bags of monkey food good for them? And they're not apes, so we're going to give them 0 bags of ape food. And let's give them a crate of fresh fruit. The Reese's monkeys are sick. Well, they're monkeys. Let's give them 2 bags of food. What do you think? And no ape food. What do you think, Brian? Should we give them fruit? How much fruit do you think we should give them?
Yeah, 1.
1? All right, let's give them 1. I really don't know if 1's enough. I haven't figured out this game yet. The marmosets are sick. Now, are marmosets monkeys or apes? Because I'm not sure.
Oh.
You got to give the right monkeys the right foods, or they don't eat them.
Right.
Give them fruit. Don't give them pellets.
All right, let's see. Marmosets. Marmoset
I wasn't even sure what a
22
marmoset was.
New World monkey species of the genera. All right, so they're monkey. So we should probably give the marmosets some monkey food. What do you think, Brian? How many bags of food do we want to give the marmosets? I think we have like 8 of those. What do you think?
Yeah, I would start with 1.
All right.
Anyway.
And I don't think we're going to give them any ape food. And what, a crate of fresh fruit?
Yeah.
All right. The baboons are sick. What will you feed them? Now, are baboons monkeys or apes?
Apes.
Okay, so we don't want to give them monkey food. Let's give them a few bags of ape food. And let's give them some fruit, too. The chimpanzees are sick, and the chimpanzees are also apes. So we'll give them some bags of ape food. We'll give them some fresh fruit. The gorillas are sick. No, gorillas are ape. I think we only have 1 gorilla, but he's hungry. He's hangry, so we're going to give him 2 bags of ape food and a crate of fruit. You go home and go to bed. The next day you wake up and go back to the zoo. Day 2. So we still have 20 spider monkeys, 6 Reese's monkeys, 8 marmosets, 12 baboons, 4 chimpanzees, 1 gorilla, 2 turntables, and the microphone. Where it's at. Wait, wrong game. We have 17 bags of monkey food, 15 bags of ape food, and 5 crates of fruit, and $1,700 in the budget. You know what? We're going to need some more fruit, I think. So let's go back to the monkey food store. Let's buy a few more bags of everything. And there we go. Our purchases are complete. Now let's see how the monkeys are doing. Let's see. Hopefully our monkeys are feeling better. The spider monkeys are overfed. Whoops.
Oh, now you did it.
I still haven't figured out the
That means
calculations.
they're going to be throwing stuff at you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't want them to get too hungry, so we'll just throw them a bag. And
I say there's just throw them some fruit.
yeah, the rhesus monkeys are overfed. Okay, let's
Throw them some fruit.
throw them some fruit. There we go. The marmosets are hungry. Okay, so let's give them 3 bags.
2
of
bags
food.
of food.
Yeah. Oh, 2.
2
Okay.
bags of food
and
some fruit.
And some fruit. The baboons are starving. I forget, were the baboons monkeys or apes?
Apes.
Apes. Okay, so
I'm trying to figure that out.
3 bags of food and
Yeah.
some fruit.
The chimpanzees are overfed. Okay, we'll just throw them some fruit.
Just throw some. Yeah.
The gorillas are starving. Now, mind you, we have 1 gorilla, and I gave that gorilla 2 bags of food, and he's starving. So
Okay, so then do 4 bags of food and 2 things of fruit.
yeah,
Fuck.
there we go. You go home and go to bed. The next day you wake up and go back to the zoo. Day 3. So we still got 20 spider monkeys, 6 rhesus monkeys. We got the same inventory as before. And I think we got enough to do this without another visit to the store. So let's go ahead and feed our monkeys. I think this game's too boring to do all 2 weeks in this show. The spider monkeys.
You can only win if you complete the whole time.
Yeah, eventually, if you don't.
And the jerk that hired you is going to fire you when he gets back.
Yeah.
Because they don't need 2 people.
The rhesus monkeys.
And the jerk left them hungry. All the animals hungry when he left, right?
Right.
And sick.
He left.
Why were they all sick to begin with?
I don't know why they were all sick.
What he needs to do is go see the director and explain to him the problem. I've got all of these monkeys better. I'm feeding them the right stuff. But by the way, see ya. I'm going back to the store to get more monkey food because they're all hungry again.
At least
they're not sick.
Last time I tried to play this game, I had a bunch of overfed things and then I ran out of food and money, and then they all starved and left the zoo. So I've not been because I ran out of money because I just fed them way too much too early, and they won't save it for later.
That's why you need to go slow and kind of figure out what works.
Yeah, this game takes a little figuring out, is what it does. But
Lulu has his bored look. Hi, Lulu.
Lulu's gonna go hang out with 5-Hit Dune is what she's gonna do.
Has he got his own show going?
No, he's. I'll just say he's not listening anymore because he got pissed at us.
Oh.
Earlier today, and the thing is, I even defended him because earlier today, Addie was saying, "Hey, you still doing a show with that snowflake?" And I said, "Who are you talking about? I have no idea who you're talking about."
Oh yeah, those guys are the snowflakes. Isn't that bizarre? That's what you get when you follow the guy that does all the name calling.
Yeah, well, hey, but you fed the trolls on Twitter. You were feeding the trolls.
Oh, and I did some more. Yeah, that James Wood. I like to say something because he never responds, and I rarely get a respondent from any of his followers.
He is saying the type of shit.
But when you look at all the comments, is everything on his case.
The type of shit he's saying is the type of shit that, like, you don't even want to dignify it with a response. Like, I'm sorry, was there some noise over there? No, I don't think so. I think I just, it must have been the wind or something. Because that was just like, what in the fuck are you talking about, Mr. Woods? I don't know, but I don't.
Right.
I'm not
it's
even
crazy stuff.
There was a fart in the wind.
Yes, there was a fart in the wind. His name was James. Oh, man. Yeah, what was that again? He was saying something about how he thinks that maybe the coronavirus was some kind of like warfare from China to warn Trump that he needs to, stop fucking with them or something.
Right. That's why people in Italy have the most number of deaths, even above China.
It's like, damn, James, really? Really? That's what you're going with?
And what is that going to do? Does that get you a chance to go to war?
I gotta say,
in China, you don't want to.
I gotta say, earlier today, I had the TV on, and someone let that jackass talk on the TV, and he was
which one?
Trump. The jackass in chief.
He was on tonight too.
Yeah, he was on tonight, and what was he doing? He was looking down, reading from a paper, talking in that type of like I am really bad at reading from a paper type of voice, and just reading from
which is
the
why
paper.
He normally doesn't do it.
And I mean, people gave Obama crap for using a teleprompter, but at least he could deliver a speech. Trump, he either, ad-libs stupid shit that doesn't fact check or reads from a paper looking down. I mean, in grade school, they taught us to look up. And, he did the whole, look down, read, stop, look up, look down, read. It was like, dude, this is not how you give a speech. This is just not how you do it. It's just, is Doom going to leave again?
I like the person on his staff that was talking about, social isolation or separation, and was turning the page and licking her finger before she turned the page.
No.
Yes, don't touch your face unless you're going to turn the page.
Well, is your tongue a part of your face? Your tongue's inside your face, but it's not your actual face. So,
the one thing that I was getting pissed off about was they're still talking about all these testings or these tests. What is it called?
Swabs.
Yes, these test swabs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these test swabs or swab tests that they want to push out to everyone to get it started. But there's been peer articles and peer reviews that have been coming out from China and from different areas that have been proven through that respiratory doctors have been doing, that have been proved that a CT scan of the lungs show more evidence of the COVID-19 than a swab test does, because a swab test can come up as a false negative. So how reliable are these test swabs?
That's a good question.
I don't know, and there are different tests. So which ones are good and which ones are not? That's, I think, what they're concerned about.
Yeah.
Then New York City has a big jump in the number because they're testing a lot more people.
Well, yeah, but there's
So stay out of New York
right now. Yeah, stay out of New York, right? But no, I mean, when it came to China and they started doing CT scans of people's chests, that's when there was a dramatic increase of infected people, when they started noticing that, because there wasn't enough test swabs going on, and then they were coming up as false negatives. But when they started doing the CT scans, all of a sudden, bam, it shot up. They were getting more positive people.
Right.
So what I'm not understanding is why is the CDC not making doctors do a CT scan of people's lungs?
Now, CT
we
scan,
probably don't have enough equipment.
That's a CAT scan? I mean,
No. Yeah, a CAT scan. Because, and you can't say we don't have the equipment, because every hospital has a CAT scan.
Right, but what's the schedule?
Every hospital.
Yeah, but that's the type of thing you have to schedule in, and you can only run so many people through the scan a day.
You don't have to schedule. Okay? Every place, and you can bring in other respiratory doctors, you can bring in other radiologists, there are people out there that can read a fucking CT scan and see. Why aren't they doing it?
That's a good question.
They want to fucking bitch and moan, saying that, oh, we need more test swabs. Oh, we need this, we need that. Well, motherfuckers, why aren't you out there fucking reading fucking CT scans?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I've been telling my family, if you start feeling symptoms, if you have to go to the emergency room because you have symptoms of COVID-19, you automatically ask for a CT scan of your lungs.
That would be interesting to see how they answer that question, that request.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see some more information come out about that, because, I mean, if that's true, then, yeah, it sounds like that's what we need to start doing with what resources we have.
Because there are resources out there in every fucking hospital.
Okay, so for this case, how long does it take for a person to, from the start to the end, get through the CT scan, and then how long does it take to read that test?
Yeah, and you got to
To read
sterilize
that
the
test,
equipment in between each visit too. I mean, because you got to sterilize
to
the room and everything in between
to
visits.
sterilize a system with any kind of sterilization, it takes up to 3 hours.
Right.
To make sure that there's no COVID-19 on that
So if
equipment.
you have one CT scanner, you put one person through, wait 3 hours, and then you can put the next guy through.
Yes, and it takes up to 2 to 3 hours to have that CT scan processed and looked at.
Okay, so they're using bleach for the sanitizer, right?
No, they're using
bleach
an
or
industrial.
alcohol?
No, they're using a industrial wipe or an industrial sanitizer on those machines.
Which has
or
what?
In the
Chlorine
hospital.
or bleach or
Some
alcohol?
some kind of industrial sanitizer that kills bacteria and viruses, and you have to leave it on and make sure it's there for 3 hours.
Well, that really limits the resources then if you can only run one test every 3 hours.
You have to
no,
get
no.
scanners.
Don't give me that because it takes 2 to 3 hours for it to process and for it to be read.
Right.
So in 3 hours you get one person done.
Well, it takes the CDC 5 to 7 days, even longer, to have a fucking swab test done.
So
but that's that one swab test. They have a fast
That's one fucking swab
test. That's like 15 minutes. There are multiple swab tests out there. Some are good and some are not so good, right?
Whereas the CT scan, if you got one CT scanner, at best you can run 8 people through it in a 24-hour period. From the numbers
a guy
you
that
gave
can
me.
do the math.
Give
that man overtime.
I wrote a little program.
Yeah, you got a couple thousand people.
I crunched the numbers on the Commodore. It output, computer says 8. No, one thing I gotta say, Brian, you know those little things that you don't even think about until you don't have them? I gotta say, those little nubbies on the F and the J key, I never realized how essential they are. Because I can't tell you how many times I've started typing on the Commodore 64 and a bunch of gibberish comes out and I go, damn it, put my hand down on the wrong keys.
So make a little bump there.
Yeah, I might have to make my own bumps on my F and J on the Commodore 64. But anyways, no, yeah.
So you take a little little tiny cube of plastic, put super glue it, and drop it on the. Oh, I got the wrong key! Damn it!
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do something permanent, because I. But anyways, didn't mean to completely change the topic there. We still have no.
You could just use, some kind of tape that you could remove.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Fold it over, and you can still feel it.
Yeah. And also, there are things that are different on the keyboard. Like, an asterisk is its own key. A apostrophe is a shift 7. Quotes is a shift 2. Where the semicolon is on a normal keyboard is where the colon is. You start trying to type, like, on autopilot, and then you start getting things wrong. So, I'm sorry.
Besides having the finger on the wrong
scans.
row and you're getting gibberish.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But CT scans, I'm sorry. We need to, hopefully we'll see more of that, because if that's going to help us, maybe we do need to start lining up people and running more CT scans. So that's good to know. Thank you
so I can get the whole idea about not touching your face, like me and Lulu right now.
Well, we're all.
So why don't they talk about washing your face?
I wash my face. I wash it down with tea tree oil and mint. My face is clean. Fuck y'all.
My beard is a
What
protective
if you get
barrier.
And they never talk about it.
My
And in a public restroom,
my beard is like
they
a
got those air
jungle
dryers that
a
won't point
virus
to
will
your
get
face.
lost in trying to find my mouth.
Well, you're dead meat, so that's no problem.
Well, no, you know what? I don't even use the hand dryers in a public restroom because those are full of fucking germs.
Yeah, they just blow them around.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now, like the Dyson hand thing, where you put your hands in it, you don't know whether there's a filter there to solve that problem.
Nope.
Nice thing is you don't touch anything when you do that.
I stay away from hand dryers.
And then how do you put your face in that? Right? Well, you can't. It's not designed for the face.
Very carefully.
I even stay away from paper towels. I use the inside of my shirt sometimes. I'm like, fuck you.
Well, like those old hand dryers, where you push the button and it goes, and it shows you how to rub your hands on it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, hold out hands,
so step 1,
free bacon.
push the button.
Yeah.
Step 2, blah, blah, blah. Step 3, dry your hands on your
Get
pants.
her to open the box.
And by the way, your sleeve is to dry off your face.
Yes.
No, I refuse to use paper towels in the bathrooms because I don't like pulling them down. I don't like pulling that. No. I'll wash my hands, but I don't.
And then you walk around with wet hands.
Paper towels.
Yeah. Do you touch the door with your hand, your clean hand? Do you use your foot or your knee?
You know what?
Or do you use a piece of paper towel and push it open with a piece of paper?
You know what? At our office, the last few weeks we were there before they closed down. One of the things they did, because they started stepping up things to try to make us feel better. So they put hand sanitizer everywhere. They bought boxes of antiviral tissues, had those everywhere. They had extra shifts to go around to wash and sanitize doorknobs and door handles. They installed a foot pull on the inside of the bathroom door, so you could use your foot to catch on this pull and pull the door in to open up the door to leave the bathroom without having to touch it.
Now, do you flush the toilet with your foot?
Yes.
Our toilets had those sensors that sense when you've walked away and start. Not to mention,
sometimes you go, it didn't quite do that log.
Well, keep in mind, flushing the toilet is after using the facilities and before washing the hands. So, go ahead, touch the flusher, and then go wash your hands right away. You're fine.
Okay.
You ain't flushing it with your face, Brian.
So actually, in the Fry's electronics stores, they had all these signs in the bathroom of what to do, blah, 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 including don't use your foot to flush the toilet. I think they were afraid of people breaking it.
Well, let me tell you a story.
I'm using my foot to flush a toilet.
I have a story.
I ain't touching it.
I have a very unfortunate, sad story. And the sad story is the story that happened after my story, because at some point someone had to clean this up. And this is kind of a true confessions of the Kmart bathroom.
Oh, God, he missed.
No, it's not.
I thought you were going to tell us the one at the Big Bear restaurant.
Well, I just made a kid cry there. No, this.
Oh, you guys want to know a story? I can tell you a story.
Well,
this was during the SARS thing.
Here's my story. So it was my friends from high school, Genocide Rob and Doogie, were working the closing shifts at a Kmart in Hillsboro. And so one night they were like, hey, let's hang out after we're done closing the store down. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I went and I met them at the Kmart. They're putting away returns. I'm kind of hanging with them. And, it's like, yeah, store closes in 15 minutes. And then we got to, zone things out and we'll leave and we'll go hang out. We're going to hang out. Yeah. And there was a little bit of rumbling coming from my tummy. And I was like, well, where's the restroom? And the restroom's back there. So I go back there, I find the sign. I go in the restroom, and there was this toilet that I wasn't sure if it was going to flush or not. And I had to drop a big old stanky deuce in that toilet. and I did that, and I used a little bit of paper. And it was one of those times where you could have sworn that maybe a brown crayon got lodged in there and just kept on drawing the line, because I just could not, for the life of me, get clean. This is why I really like the bidet. And I'm like, well, this is going to need a courtesy flush here. So I do the courtesy flush so I don't clog the thing. And the water starts coming up and doesn't go back down. And it comes, up, and it goes, the cup floweth over. And I'm not done wiping yet. So I'm there in a stall with a puddle of water around the toilet, standing up away from it with my, pants down around my ankles. And I still got to wipe, but there's no wastebasket there. And there's a broken plunger on the floor next to the toilet with a soaked handle now. I'm not even going to try to pick that thing up. I mean, and that thing was busted anyways. I mean, the plunger wouldn't plunge
the thing
no more.
That wasn't a clue that you shouldn't be using that one?
Well, it was the only toilet that was there. It was a one toilet bathroom. So the only thing I could do was continue using paper and just kind of throw it on the water to float on top of the bowl there. And back on out of there once I was done, and pull up my pants and say nothing to no one and leave behind with my head hung in shame. And then we went and hung out and had a good time. So I don't know who had to clean that up, but someone found a bowl filled to the rim with a bunch of floating paper on the top of there and a puddle on the floor. So I'm sorry, man, but it wasn't my fault. What could I do?
And these people were getting ready to leave.
Right. So whoever was doing the cleaning, the closing cleaning shift that night, maybe there was an overnight crew that cleaned. Maybe there was someone that was just starting their shift that found that, Maybe there's someone
He's probably going, oh my gosh.
Maybe there's someone
was that the guy that I just saw coming out?
Maybe
that did that?
Maybe the person that has that shift really likes to clean. It makes them feel good to take on a real challenge and dig in and really do it.
No,
right.
bitch.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Right.
No, bitch.
Maybe someone that's into scatological play had that job and
No.
was like,
Wow.
oh boy,
No.
my favorite.
No.
No. Well, still not as bad as the Apollo 10 bathroom fiasco.
Apollo 10 bathroom fiasco?
You've never heard that transcript?
No.
Oh, it's the audio's out there. During the Apollo 10, this is the mission that was the test run before Apollo 11, so they went around the moon and came back home. At some point, the guy, the astronauts are talking, all of a sudden Glenn goes, oh, who did it? Who did it? Turd just came floating by. Somebody get a napkin. And then they start talking about why, well, that can't be mine. Mine was more sticky. I'm not kidding.
No.
Let me see if I can find this. I gotta see if I can find the audio of this. This is
No, you are joking. They actually had this conversation.
Yes.
Yep, they did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They probably shut the media, the audio track off from the media.
No. It's
so the mainstream media didn't hear it.
No,
but somebody at NASA released it then.
Yes, it has since been released. Although I got to tell you, I've been having a struggle finding it late. Oh, here we go. Audio transcript. Someone on Reddit's got it. Let's see if let's see. I had to check it out for myself. Page 416. Darn, no, I can't find the audio link. I can find images of the transcript itself. Darn, where's the audio? Oh man. I gotta find it. Venison, you've heard this though, right?
Yep.
That's right. Let's see if we can find it. But yeah, otherwise it was a successful mission. But yeah, it was not a Mars bar. Oh man, shit. I can't find it. I've heard this audio before, but I cannot for the life of me find it anymore. You never heard about this, Brian?
No, I didn't hear about that one.
Oh man. Oh shit. It is hilarious.
But Alan Shepard's Mercury flight went wrong. You remember that, right?
What was that? Oh, that was.
I think that was in.
Yes. He was. He didn't. He had to poop before he even got into space. Yeah, that was.
Well, he had to pee, I think.
Or he had to, he had to go, and because it was supposed to be a quick flight, so I didn't schedule in a bathroom plan.
Yeah.
But it got delayed. Here we go. Here's the audio. Let's see if this works.
Oh, who did it? Who did what? Who did it? Give me a napkin quick. There's a turd floating loose. I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine. I don't think it's one of mine. Mine was a little more sticky than that. God almighty. Here's another goddamn turd. What's the matter with you guys? Here, give me a... Are they just floating around?
Oh my God.
And now, more from NPR.
No, okay. Thank you, NPR. So there it was.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Our scientists hard at work in space.
Picking up poo, floating around.
Well,
Zero gravity.
Going in space is not easy.
Oh, dude, I would hate the fact if someone had diarrhea. Oh, God.
Man.
I mean,
God.
the way in the Apollo era, they basically had a bag with a seal, basically an ass gasket is what they called it, that you put.
Ass gasket.
Yeah, an ass gasket. Yeah. And you had to have a little, part for your finger to go in because you don't have gravity to let the, poop drop. So you kind of had to make your own separation to get it in the bag. And then you had to you had to mix a chemical in with it so that it wouldn't produce gas and make the bag blow up. And so you had to do your own mixing. You had to massage your poop after you were done, basically. Pooping in space in the Apollo era was not pleasant. It's gotten a little bit better.
So the Shepard flight mission was, on Mercury,
right?
Was a 15-minute and 22 second. So hey, what do you need facilities for, right?
But the flight got delayed hours, and he was bolted into the capsule. So
I mean, even there in the flight, the countdown was at 8:30. The previous 8:30 p.m. Shepard awake during an eating breakfast of steak and eggs and toast and coffee and orange juice. And then the flight was at 5:15 a.m. Guess what happens?
What?
Yeah, he had to pee.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah, for a 15-minute flight. What do you mean you have to pee?
But right. He was stuck in the capsule for hours on the launch pad because the launch got delayed.
Right, which that's the thing they didn't anticipate.
They didn't anticipate the hours on the launch pad because things went wrong that got the flight postponed. That's what happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not like you're going right up to the capsule, get in, close it up, and shoot.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
Well, each time something happens, we learn trumpet. That's why NASA would say nothing was a failure. There are all these launch vehicles that blew up on, at stage, ready to go, and it just blows up. Well, they didn't call that a failure. They called it a partial success.
Well,
partial
they learned
success.
something from it. Yes.
Which one was this? partial success?
Many of the pre-human powered flights,
Right.
they had explosions on the launch pad,
Yeah.
and they didn't call those failures; they called them partial success.
Well,
That's where they invented the term.
Well. Then also the other term was that Apollo 13 was a successful failure because they got them all home.
Oh, sure, but then they had to make up a whole new term.
Yeah. They got them all home, so that was a very successful. But
right.
the mission was a failure. But of course, everyone knows now that astronauts wear diapers on launch, and the reason we know that is because of that news story about the astronaut that was driving across country to confront her ex's girlfriend,
right.
and wore the diapers to avoid bathroom stops while driving across the country. This is why we all know about the astronaut diapers. Is that great or what? Wait,
well, anybody
she
can get them.
What?
It's just called depends.
She did what?
She wore astronaut diapers.
She wore adult diapers to avoid bathroom stops.
I wonder if she just threw them out the window.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but then you would still... How are you going to change the diaper when you're driving? You're going to have to pull over.
Oh, Brian, you're not trying hard enough. You're telling
if you've ever
me,
changed a baby's diaper while the car's moving, you
pants.
haven't lived.
Change the diaper, period.
You're telling me you can't remove your pants single-handed while keeping your foot on the what? Cruise control.
But then you risk getting poo on your car seat.
Oh, dude.
Heck, I don't like the drive-up window at the fast food place, because then you got all this junk in your car. And if you spill something, then oh look, you always have to look at that ketchup stain.
Oh, if you clean it.
Dude, I've changed pissy ass diapers in a fucking car while in a car seat.
And
okay,
Brian,
you've got skills.
And Brian, chunking your car is a good thing. You know, if you got all stats underneath the seat, cop pulls you over and starts checking you for drugs. They feel underneath the seat all that junk and gooey stuff. They pull their hand right out, and you go free.
So you just take a used diaper and you stick it in there.
No.
Find weed.
You stick the weed in between the nasty diapers. So they'll find the diapers before they find the weed.
And even if they have the drug sniffing dog, the dog says, I ain't going there.
Nope, don't want that. Don't what? Then again, some dogs like used diapers.
Okay, time to change the subject.
Yes.
When
our dog,
some dogs eat shit.
I tell you,
no, dude.
There were times that we come home and that we found shreds of cotton diapers all over the floor. Not a single trace of the contents left. And then she'd come up and try to lick our face. And
well, just like the insurance ad with Tina Fey and the character that, you know, the Mayhem that plays the dog.
Yeah.
And he'd go to lick her face, and she says, "Don't do that. You just ate poop."
Exactly.
Gators.
Yes, Lulu?
When my dad was alive and he was going through his last moments, he had a urinal next to his bed, and then he wore diapers, you know.
All right.
We left the baby gate off the door one day, and the three pits decided to go into the room, get through his garbage, get his urinal, and get his diapers.
Oh.
And ate everything that had caca on it.
Ew. Yeah, some dogs are into that.
Yeah.
Well, on a more...
We should have put up a warning. If you don't want to hear this next story...
Hey. Some dogs prefer chocolate. Now, they say chocolate is poisonous to dogs. Our dog, Banshee, she would eat herself a good old load of chocolate and not get sick.
Oh, they'll eat it and not get sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was part of
each dog has its own tolerance.
There were times that, because my mom was so pissed because my mom, she was a second grade teacher, and she made all these gift bags for the class for a holiday. I think it was like Valentine's Day or something like that was coming up, and so she has the goodie bag with the pencil with the eraser topper and the this and that, and each bag had a little fun size Snickers bar in it, and my mom sees one of the goodie bags looks a little out of place. She's like, did Banshee get into this room? Sure enough, goodie bag has a eaten candy bar in it. My mom's like, well, that's not too bad. One of them got eaten. Okay. I'll, replace the candy bar there. And then she checks the next bag. Every goodie bag had the candy bar taken out of it, eaten, and put back in its place so that it didn't look like it was eaten.
So that was the dog that did that?
That was the dog. The dog did it. It was clearly the dog, and she somehow left them all arranged so that the candy wasn't visible, or the eaten candy wrapper wasn't visible. So we don't know if that was like luck or intelligence or a combination of both. Oh, but my mom was so pissed at it. My mom was like, I hope you get sick. You bet. And she did not get sick, which just pissed my mom off more. But
so maybe, because it was so perfect, it's like a human must have been doing that.
No, it wasn't that perfect.
So one of the children or whatever.
No, it wasn't.
And then blamed it on the dog.
No, it was no. I mean, the way the candy bars were ripped open, there was dog teeth imprints, and once you actually got the bags out of position and saw.
See, fooled you, even you.
It was not one of the siblings. It was not one of us.
One of our former dogs got into a tin depth, size,
okay,
tin of fudge.
Ooh.
Oh, he ate it. He ate it all.
Did he die?
No. He threw up all over the couch.
Oh.
He threw up all over the recliner.
Oh.
He shat all over the floor. Oh, when we woke up, it was marvelous. My mom was like, what the fuck?
Well, one night... Well, go ahead. I'll let you finish yours. Or was that...
Oh,
malfunction?
No. That was it.
One night...
It. That was Junior. That was Junior.
One night, my mom...
Dog malfunction.
One night, my mom was awoken at like 2 or 3 in the morning to the sound of Banshee going...
Oh, no.
And my mom found, dangling from her mouth, the spool, like the cardboard spool at the end of a spool of ribbon, because the ribbon was taped to the cardboard spool. Banshee had found the ribbon and thought, well, this looks tasty. And, it's like spaghetti. Once you start, you got to keep going. And then she got to the spool. And so my mom had to pull the ribbon out. And it starts out kind of okay.
From which end?
Was it like a magician trick?
From the mouth. She pulled it out the mouth because it wasn't going through the whole digestive system. It just went down her throat because
not yet.
She got to the cardboard spool and so of course as my mom's pulling, the ribbon's getting warm and soaked and it was disgusting. I was like, I couldn't believe how much ribbon I had to pull out of her. It was just, and my mom's like, and the dog's like, and it was not pleasant.
Like a magician. pulling out the.
I would let it continue to pass through
No,
and
kidding.
pull it out the other end.
No, that's
So back in the day
that
when
was the tinsel. Yes.
on the Christmas
Pull
tree
out the cardboard and go, ta-da!
was popular.
Yeah.
I had a cat that ate it, and it came out we didn't know about it. It came out the other end, no problem.
Well, in our house, you always knew it was Christmas when you saw a little twinkle coming from Banshee's asshole. Sometimes you come in from walking her, and you'd see this little twinkle as she turned. And it's like, oh, you're not you got a little something stuck there. We gotta take you back outside. I think my dad actually had to pull a strand out once because she ran across and tried to rub her butt on the ground, and she's just scooting, and it's just not coming out. My dad had to help it along a bit.
No. Okay, Titus, my mom's boyfriend's dog. He likes to chew on wood. So he's taking his dog for a walk, and he takes a shit. And this lady goes, "Oh, here's a bag." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." He puts the bag on his hand and reaches down to Titus's ass and starts pulling out chunks of wood.
No!
And the lady goes, "Oh my God!" And she just pulls. "Oh, I do this all the time. He likes to chew on wood."
Maybe you stop letting the dog chew on wood. Maybe you. We actually.
Titus is just letting him.
Banshee chewed into the door.
Or build a treehouse.
And so we got like a sour apple spray that we sprayed on what was left of the door trim. So that there are things you can do for that.
Oh yeah. But it's not my dog, so I'm not doing anything. It's not my dog.
Not your dog. Not your dog. Not your wood. Not your problem.
No.
No one's making you dig the wood chunks out of the dog's ass.
So these would be interesting topics for Commodore 64 games. Get ready to program.
We might have to do that now. So what are we gonna? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna? What's the goal of our program here?
Well, what I would do is modify the beach program and figure out what events to program in. We have to think through that. Although I think we spent already plenty of time on this topic.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Venison?
It's amazing how he changed the topic and an hour later goes back to it.
I know, right?
I mean, what the hell?
All right, 10. Print CHR $ parenthesis 147 close parenthesis. That clears the screen. 20. Print. Quote. It's time to pull the wood out of your dog's ass.
Do we have enough time to finish this little program?
There we go. We're already on our way. See? It's time to pull the wood out of your dog's ass. Okay, maybe we need to abbreviate that sentence
Syntax
to fit
error.
on one line. There we go. I think we're on to something good here.
Cool.
Tap spacebar to pull chunks. You found a 20-pointer. Uh-oh, your glove got a rip in it. Minus 10 points.
Yes. Dude, type it like a story. You know how those storybooks would go? like like a scenario would happen, you have to put yes or no, and then
Like a choose your own adventure book.
yeah, choose your own adventure book.
A choose your own adventure book about taking care of your dog's fecal matters.
Oi, the drama writes, what's going on here? When did venison turn into a blue screen?
Well, venison doesn't have a webcam.
I do that occasionally.
Since venison doesn't have a camera and we just have a still picture of him that never changes, I figured that was the most logical place to put the Commodore screen. So, obviously. But suddenly, venison turned into a blue screen. Well, you know, venison.
Got no respect. No respect.
Well, venison.
Gotta reboot.
Well, venison insists on using versions of Windows that does that. You see, so.
Yeah, like yours.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, well, no, I'm working on. I'm going to set up the sweetest Windows 3.1 laptop you've ever seen.
Oh my god, 3.1.
Yeah.
So, Venison, what's your current
Someone kill
version
me.
of Windows?
Wait, what?
Your current version of Windows?
7.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. That they ended support what 2 months ago.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but it's a refurbish. They didn't do it right.
You mean that reinstalling the Windows?
Oh, that was done several times. And it still didn't work.
So what didn't they do right?
Hardly anything. It
But
wouldn't
it's
even take all the updates.
Well, no. What's wrong with the refurbish? That's what I mean, hardware-wise. That's making it where the reinstall of the Windows not to work correctly.
Oh, it's the reinstall. One thing, it only works on the disc that it came with. Proprietary disc. So you can't install
some of the things
anything
don't work
else.
properly.
Well, yeah, like the netio.sys keeps crashing.
Yeah, but why is it doing that? Is it a hardware thing or is it a processor thing? Like
Unknown.
An OS. It's unknown. So
Probably
it could
a hardware
be
problem.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
Oi points out the upgrade
Probably
to
one
Windows.
of the interrupts is pointing the wrong place.
The upgrade to Windows 10 is free, so you could.
Still free?
I think there are still ways you could, if you run like the installer for, because remember they kept the upgrade for. There are ways you can still get it for free. I think it's if you're using they kept the download for those that are using the words on the tip of my tongue. I've completely lost it. Accessibility uses or something like that. You could get it for free.
Oi said there are ways. I just did it.
Yeah, if you Google that shit, you can find it. You just gotta
So
Google
you
it.
just say, "Oh, I'm blind, so I can get the upgrade."
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they don't verify it. You just run the executable and it does it, and it'll upgrade for free. At this point, Microsoft has really changed to a model that's based on things other than people buying Windows.
Sure.
Yeah, they pretty much. I mean, even if you don't have a licensed copy, it'll still run. They're not shutting you down.
Sure.
Yeah. They give you a
It's just
nag.
they want you to also buy their Windows Office program more than their operating system and all the knickknacks that come with it, because they're looking more towards that than the actual operating system itself.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and Bill Gates no longer has anything to do with the company.
Oh, but
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
heart,
because he's going to concentrate on his philanthropy now.
in my heart, he'll always be the face of Microsoft.
Sure, but he has nothing to do with the company at all.
Yeah, whatever.
He is not CEO. He's not on the board. Nothing.
Don't care. It's still his in my mind.
Oi, the drama says, yeah, the only time you have actually buy Windows is when you build your own computer and some motherboards come with a free copy.
Yeah, and
Right.
you know what I found? What I found was I worked for a company that had a corporate license, and the laptops they bought came with licenses, and that was fine because whatever. But anytime we had to have a Dell laptop service, the Dell guy would come and he would like replace the motherboard, and we would put the same hard drive in there that had the corporate license, and he'd hand me the like Windows license key and would say, "Here's your free money." And after about the fourth or fifth time, he threw this thing at me and said, "Here's your free money." I said, "What do you mean by that free money?" He goes, "Well, your company's using the corporate license, so these license keys are good and can be redeemed anywhere, and your company will never use them." I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad
So you could sell the Windows license key.
I am glad I stashed those in a drawer." No, I used them. I used them all.
Well, I mean, you could sell them or use them yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and there's actually, I saw a website where you can buy a Windows license key if you have to.
Yeah. Now, but you see, for me, I never bought a Windows 7 license. I was always using cracked versions of XP. And I had cracked versions of 7, but then the crack stopped working, so I always had like the nags on them, and I was always resetting the nags. So finally, when I got this pile of Windows licenses from the Dell rep, that's when I started unlocking all my Windows licenses on my computers, and that's how I got everything on the up and up. And then also I brought home a bunch of Lenovo tablets that needed Windows licenses that I fixed up, and so I eventually used up all my free Windows licenses. But yeah, no, that came in real handy.
Why don't you just use the corporate license?
Because, well, I can't. The corporate license requires checking in with the corporate server. So it only works for as long as.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah, it checks. That was an issue because we had a this was when I was working at Enternock. They sold off a team. Like there was a team of people that they basically worked out some negotiation with another company, and like, yeah, we're buying this part of your business, and we'll take these 15 employees. And part of the negotiation they worked out was that we'll let these 15 employees that you're taking keep their laptops. And of course, they didn't check in with us. They didn't run it by us. They didn't ask us what that meant. And so we're like, what do you mean they get to leave with their laptops? They got a corporate licensed software on those laptops. The company that's buying them, they don't own that license. And they're like, they're going to keep using it. We're like, look it. We shut their accounts off. We shut their access off to our servers. In 90 days, their Windows license is going to bark at them because it's not checked in to verify that they still have a corporate license. So whoever,
can they put in a new key and then get it going again?
Well, that was their IT's department's problem. But
right, but I mean, that's how you fix that. Right?
Basically, we had to say, look, they need to understand that they got 90 days to come up with their own software solution and reimage all those laptops. Oh, yeah, they know that. They know that. You know what? I never found out what happened.
You have to reimage it?
Well, you got to put a valid Windows install on there, not to mention Office. All the software on there was owned by us. A reimage would be the easy solution. Registering all the software separately and cleaning everything up, no, they would have been better off building their own image and just redoing the whole fleet. If they did it right, that is. But
Right.
But
But so they can't just put in a new Windows key and they're good.
they might be able to. You
'Cause
probably
they'd have to do it for each program that they own.
you probably could do
if it would work.
You probably could do that. I think you could just put in another Windows key and register it. But that'd be up to them to figure out. Basically, I don't know what happened in 90 days. All I know is I kept saying this was stupid. Why didn't they check in
and
with us?
they never called you.
And they never called us in 90 days. We made it very clear we didn't want to hear from them ever again. It's like, oh yeah,
Right. And they took you literally.
nothing.
It's like
nothing
in,
personal.
In the estimating system, there's one part that we say, this is to which way do you want it to print? Do you want to email it? Do you want to fax it? Do you want to print it to a printer? Or there's a fourth option, which is don't press the button, and nobody pressed that button.
Right.
Because we told them not to press it.
Right.
They didn't know that it said, "Hey, we told you not to press that button."
So
and nobody knew that.
So I don't know what happened in 90 days, but I have a feeling that in 90 days something went wrong because it's that thing where it's like, oh, we got a plan, we got 90 days. Next thing you know, oh shit, where'd those 90 days go?
Yeah,
Don't you ever realize that you never tell somebody not to push a button?
Well, I didn't do it, but I did go along with it, and I knew about it. Incidentally, on eBay, the typical price for a Windows 10 license is about $6.
Nice.
And they talk about, do you have 32-bit, 64-bit? Is it the Pro key? Is it the blah, 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 blah? So there's a ton of them out there. And some of them use the word, genuine. So cool.
Yeah. I'm going to write a little program inspired by your little story.
Install the Windows Windows license key.
Listen.
No.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you something in Twitter.
I gotta bring that up.
No, look at it later.
So I like the.
It's gonna be in the group messenger on Twitter.
Oh, so everybody can see that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So everybody, so every software you go into for the first time, it comes up, either whether you're downloading it or whatever, it comes up with the agreement form.
Yeah.
Which means if you hit the agreement yes, then it'll work.
Right.
If you hit no, then it just terminates.
Well,
that was simple. I know the right answer.
Well, check out I got on the screen here.
I don't have to read the dang thing.
Up on the screen it says, "Don't press the T." And now it's waiting for me to press something.
So hit the T.
Oh, error in 30.
Because you hit the T?
30. If $sign equals T, then print, I told you not to press that. Huh. I guess...
It still kind of worked because the program failed.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I forgot to put the T in quotes is what I forgot to do.
Okay.
There we go. I need to...
Something like...
I need to...
now you're copying
his
Hitchhiker's Guide.
BASIC is that you don't have a interactive error checking. Basically, have to run it until you hit the error.
You're copying from Hitchhiker's Guide.
What the heck?
What?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When they got rescued by a heart of gold, and then Arthur's sitting in his seat, and it says, "What's this button here?" It says, "Do not press this button." He presses it, and it says, "Please do not press this button again."
All right, let's try this again. All right, don't press the T. T. Of course, now I have to press enter. I told you not to press that. There. I'm a programmer. I just wrote a program.
I'm proud of you, dude.
Yay!
You shouldn't be. That was awful. If I was smart, I would have made it so it would put the error message up immediately upon pressing the T and not having to press enter first. Always typing in T's.
And then you put some esoteric error code, and then you're a real programmer. Yes, error 759. What the hell does that mean? That means you hit the T button.
That means you hit the T button when we told you not to. Oh, Oi wants me to program Hello World. He really likes that one.
Yeah, that is what every programmer does the first time they get into a language.
Yes, that is.
How do I say hello? World.
Print Hello World. 20, go to 10. There you go.
Whoa.
Just that simple. Of course, my favorite is doing something like 10 for x equals 1 to 10,000, 20 for y equals 1 to 20, 20, let's say, 30, print x times y, semicolon, 40, next y, 50, next x. Run. This is more impressive on a PC that spits out numbers faster. But there you go. We got lots and lots of numbers.
Whoa. Okay, calculate pi. So another thing with the hello world, what you could do, instead of go to line 10,
Yeah.
you say go sub 10.
Right.
And the thing crashes it when it runs out of space. And then you get really sophisticated, assuming you know what the command is to see how much memory is available. And you figure out which number you want to be greater than to continue to run. And when you hit that point, then you start unwinding it. So it does returns until it's done returning.
Well, we could do a, let's see, 10, go sub, 100, 20, go to 10, 100, print hello world. 110 return.
Hey, Zoe.
And
How
there
are
we
you,
go.
darling?
And that's just that easy. And so we made a hello world program using a go sub. Although it's still used to go to.
Zoe, you're
Well,
here.
you put an extra link to it. So.
Yeah, I made my hello world loop a little more sophisticated by making it a subroutine.
Zoe, save me, please.
Zoe, what made you come here?
Hello, Zoe. Oh, of course, Zoe.
Zoe, please.
Why wouldn't Zoe come
Save
here,
me.
Venison?
I don't know.
This is where all the cool people hang out.
I think it's where the nerds are.
Yeah.
They've been going on about this Commodore 64 programming for the last 2 hours.
I stand behind my statement. All the cool kids had a Commodore 64. And all the really cool kids know how to program on them.
Like,
And all the
I'm
really,
down
really
for-
cool kids that never went for it in the first place.
I'm all down for a Commodore 64, but goddamn it, these are some boring ass fucking games.
It was just like being at the beach. It was just like a day at the beach.
Fuck you on the beach, dude.
We went swimming. We had to get out of the water because of sharks. We bought hot dogs. We left our wallet at the blanket. We got hungry. We got sandy. We got lost. It was just like a day at the beach. Actually, all those things.
No, it wasn't.
And
There
we
was
used
no
the pepper
bar.
spray.
You didn't have any bars, no arcade games, no Lucky Leos.
We'll add that in the
Dude,
next
you
version.
had no boardwalk. There was no boardwalk. Dude, you had hot dogs in the fucking sand.
Well,
There
How
was
fucked
no
up
New
is
Jersey
that?
pizza.
that was the version 1.0. That was a demo version. That's gonna come out in the next version.
You had hot dogs in the sand, dude.
Hello, hot dogs in the
And
sand.
a blanket. And a blanket.
Hot dogs in the sand. Wasn't that called the what is that? The chicken cutlet or something like that? Or never mind. Anyways,
Boy goes, I love sandy wieners.
under the boardwalk. I guess that's not working.
Isolate that.
And
I'll let
before
you-
we
I'll
run
let
out
you-
of time,
Yeah.
I'll let you
Johnny.
isolate this.
before we run out of time, you're going to go into depths on how to set up a Team Talk server. Oh, we're out of time.
We are out of time right now. Funny that. So, we were going to go in depth on how to set up a Team Talk server, but unfortunately, we've run out of time. Aw, that's too bad.
How about the short version? Do you do it on Linux?
Enter, insert, comma, 8, load, Team Talk server.
Don't you?
Oh yeah,
Run.
gators. I saw something somewhere in an article somewhere in which case somebody else besides you called Linux people elitist pricks.
Yes, it's catching on. I approve.
So my nephew, inherited the stamp collection from my dad, right? And he's been getting into it, and he found all these forums with stamp collectors, and the old farts that are still doing it are elitist pricks.
Well, yeah, stamp.
Oh, that's what it was. It was from a song. Every OS sucks.
Well, I gotta say, when you're talking about stamp collectors, you're talking about people that have found the most boring way to have a hobby that there is.
The funny stories that I've only caught a drift of is that his dog also enjoys that hobby.
What, eating stamps?
I do not know. Again, it's just kind of a hint that the dog gets involved.
In stamp
I
collecting.
think we have to leave that to
Moist.
imagination because I don't really know yet.
I mean, if wood
The
chips,
stamps get moist.
if wood chips can pass through a dog's digestive system and come out whole, I think stamps could also make it through. But on that note, thank you for that story, Lulu. On that note, we're out of time to fully digest the stamps, and we're just gonna have to move right along
With wood.
past that. But Zoe writes in that she used to use an SWTPC 6800 long before the C64 came out.
She did. She did. I had one.
Okay.
My brother and I got one.
Okay.
Nerds.
Okay, Zoe, but have you ever used these? I
Fuck
have.
are those?
They're bookmarks. No, they're. Well, now they're bookmarks. But once upon a time, they were Fortran statements.
For
Oh
IBM.
God.
They make great bookmarks.
Punch cards.
They make great.
Punch cards, yes.
They're what I jot down shopping lists on. If I need to leave someone a little note for something, they're great for that. But anyways, we do try to be educational here. And
You use Fortran?
I use Fortran cards to jot down notes. There was this great video I saw online of a group of people that had like this museum installment of like the type of computer that had like racks of all these like spools of reel-to-reel tape, and the big consoles and the card reader and the big printer with the green bar paper. And they wrote a program in Fortran on the cards and actually wired it all up and ran the cards through. And then they had to figure out what the lights on the thing meant and why it didn't read it right the first time. But the second time they got it to read and print out an output that meant something. And I was just, it wasn't necessarily a funny video, but I was laughing so much and filled with so much glee and delight watching these people running these cards through this thing, and goes that machine there, that's got to compile that there, we got to push that button there. I'm like, oh my god, that's computing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It was one of the greatest things I've seen on YouTube in a long time.
Well, my first programming class, most of the lessons in the lab had to do with putting together a program on cards.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last one where we had an interactive terminal to use. But we didn't have very many, so, that's why it was only the one last lab.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we should go around the room and talk about
I remember we had Fortran in high school. Damn.
Boy, the drama says, okay, Gators has totally nerded out. I'm waiting for him to pull out his inhaler and catch his breath.
My breath is fine.
Pretty much.
Thank you very much.
Pretty
Can you
much.
put a pocket protector on a t-shirt?
Only if the t-shirt has a pocket. You can get those.
And Zoe...
Yeah, I've got one.
See?
Oi says stamps. I think the most elitist bricks are vinyl collectors. I got an itch over here on my nose there. Zoe writing...
or collect quad.
No, the cool people collect quad. Oi writes in, I thought the only people that collected stamps were Canadians. And Zoe wrote in, punch cards, yes. And paper tape. And Zoe also writes in, one of my first jobs was to decommission a computer that had two main tools, a flathead screwdriver and a rubber mallet. Screwdriver was to take off the back pan. Yes! Mallet was to tap the valves if it didn't boot. You didn't have to finish that thought. Just the screwdriver was to take off the back panel, and the dodge there was perfect. I was just like, I've got to use that one. That's a great line right there. I'm writing that one down. All right. What have we all learned here tonight? Lulu, what have you learned?
I learned that this show has too much nerding.
I think it's got just enough. Brian, what have you learned?
Well, what I wanted to learn was just a snippet on... So you have a TeamTalk server, right?
Right.
Does that run under Windows or is it running under Linux?
Windows.
On the same machine that you're doing everything else in, or is it on a different machine?
Same machine.
Same machine.
But it's a pretty screaming machine here.
So where did you find the server software?
From the Bearware website that you got the client from as well.
Oh, okay. So you could get it from them.
Oh, yeah. You can run it on your machine.
And that's free?
Yeah. So now you've learned that.
There was stuff, and I think these were corporate versions that were like $1,400.
I think you're looking in the wrong place. I'll have to send you the links. But yeah, no, you can run it free. You can just run. You can set up a server on your own machine, and then I have that host name that forwards to my IP address. As long as my IP address doesn't change, that all works. But yeah, so now you've learned something.
Do you have a port that's open for that?
Yeah. And Venison.
We've probably spent already too much time on that, but yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Now that we're done teaching Brian for today, Venison, what have you learned?
I learned about. So now I did learn about the TeamTalk server. See that? See what I did there?
I learned that Brian responds to the name Venison.
and still talks a lot.
Sorry, I kid.
And I'm sorry too. And I totally agree with that.
I just tease you a little
And
bit.
it's Venison's turn.
So Venison, what have you learned?
Okay, just making sure. I've learned that you are such an incredible nerd. It's unbelievable. And Zoe is also a much more incredible nerd, which I never realized, and my jaw is now down to the floor. And yeah. And especially you use your dark magician tricks by pulling out these flags about 20 or 30 feet of them.
Nice.
So
And
this,
you
guy
use
I
the
met-
wood for the dog for building a treehouse.
So my brother and I had a Southwest Technical Products 6800, and we met a guy that was building them to put in a medical situation, and he had a proprietary board to read some data off of something, and he epoxied the crap out of the board so they couldn't figure out how to replicate it.
Right.
Because that was his deal.
That was the way you could do things if you just cover it in glue so
Right.
that no
yeah,
one
you
can
get a
take it
patent
apart.
and you've just given it away.
Yeah.
So he would just gum it all up with epoxy, and you'd have to chip it all apart and figure out what all the pieces did. Then figure out how to wire it if you didn't destroy the board.
Right. Well, on that note, thank you everyone for joining us, and we're gonna go find someone to raid now. Let's see who's going live right
And
now.
Zoe started programming in 1975?
That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, Zoe's the
75 is when I took that first programming course.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah.
75.
We're gonna go raid.
Good night.
75 was when I came home and
Good
got
night,
later
guys.
on.
We're gonna go raid the
Good
elephant
night,
ballet
guys.
though. But good night, Lulu.
Good night, guys.
We're gonna go raid
Yeah,
the elephant
guys
those guys
ballet.
are cool.
Good night, guys.
They're not
Bye.
there
I
anymore.
hope you enjoyed the show.
Wait, are
Good night,
they?
guys.
Yeah, they're there.
Good
They're
night,
still
guys.
live.
Good night, Venison. Good night, Venison.
Good night,
Oh.
John Boy.
Good night, Venison. Shut up,
Lulu,
Venison.
you could just put that video.
All right, we're raiding. It's
Stop
three,
trying to
Good
talk
night,
about them all that
one.
much.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night there.
Now for the
Bye-bye.
last word from Venison.
You got wood.
Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Shut up. Just good night.
Raid with a D, not a P. Okay, so
All right, good.
ready?
Time to turn off the stream.
128. Really, bro? 128. Pause.
All right.
My God.
Good night.
Wood.
We are off. We are finally off. God, I'm so thirsty. I gotta get a
Fuck,
drink.
shut up. Shut the fuck up and get off the fucking air.
All right.